From this moment on, how would you like to see Belgian, southeastern U.S. relations develop?
Again, let me be very frank on this. On the one hand, there is for me, and the same goes for my very good European colleagues here in Atlanta, I would say there is no reasons at all to complain about. On the other hand, what I would like to say is that we are doing well on both sides of the Atlantic, but I have the impression, and I'm absolutely certain that we could do so much more and so much better. And it will take some time, it will take some efforts, but I'm sure that on both sides of the Atlantic, there are many, many aspects where we could learn the one from the other for the betterment of Georgia and of Belgium. That is in general, and I could be more specific, but certainly there is a lot of domains where we could do a lot and a lot more and better.
Well, let's just try to be specific for a moment. You've mentioned in the past the solar plane that you would like to see come to the United States.
Yes.
Would Georgia be an appropriate place for it to arrive?
I would love to see that plane, which we can see here in miniature on the table, land here in Atlanta. Atlanta has proved to be a state with which development was very narrowly intertwined with the development of the airport. Jackson Hartfield Airport, which started as a small provincial airport, if I understand it well, and then grew to the biggest in the United States. I think we have to acknowledge that, and we have also to acknowledge that Georgia is a sunny state, so why don't we take advantage of the air connection and the solar connection? The plan is that this particular plane, which is under development now in Europe, which flies with one pilot, will, in 2 years' time, start a world tour. It will be a bigger model. It will be a model which will be capable of housing 2 pilots, because it flies very slowly. And my dream, and I hope you will help me to make this dream come true, my dream is that this plane, the Solar Impulse, will land here in Atlanta on its world tour in 2014.
Would this be symbolic of Belgian and U.S. companies in the environmental area and other technology sectors working together?
Absolutely. Of course, Belgium, through one of its companies, namely Solvay, is one of the major sponsors of this project. But this project is more than a Belgian project. It's a truly European project. It's even more than European in the strict sense of the word, because Switzerland is concerned in the first place. Switzerland is not yet part of the European Union. I hope it will be one day. That is for them to decide. But together, yes, the Swiss, the European Union, and again, especially the new technologies, among others, the solar technology, let them come to Atlanta. Let us show what we can do, and let's try to see what we can do together.
It's been quite astounding to Americans to see the Belgium flourish as well as it has in recent months without a central government. How did it manage to do that?
Of course, you cannot compare things which are not comparable, but in a way you could say that to a certain extent the central government in Belgium plays the same role as your federal government. When you say that we don't have a government, that is true and not true. We have what we called a caretaker government, which has limited powers, but which still functions. That is one. On the other hand, we have the local governments, which have the same powers as your 50 different states. And those local governments function perfectly normally and perfectly well, and which makes that this unfortunate state of affairs, which is coming to an end, fortunately, in the coming days, I hope so, works and works pretty well.
I understand that President Carter did go to Brussels recently.
I'm very pleased that he did, yes indeed, and the people of the Carter Center were kind enough to let me know about it, which allowed my government to prepare for this visit in a way that I believe was appropriate. As I mentioned, the Carter Center, I don't have to mention it, you, George, know about it, is tremendously active worldwide, but especially in Africa, especially in Central Africa, which is a region very dear to our hearts in Belgium, because of the colonial ties and the relationship that we entertain with the Congo, Burundi, Rwanda since many, many years. And we, Belgium, help to fund the Carter Center for many projects that they have in those countries, more specifically in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I mentioned a moment ago the monitoring of the elections of 2006. There is another element which is important as well, and which helped to is helping to develop the democracy and the appropriation, the empowerment of all sectors of life by the Congolese themselves. It's a project by which the Carter Center is helping to trace the origin of minerals that you find in the Congo, and by tracing those minerals is giving the possibility to the Congolese people in the first place to enjoy the benefit of the trade of those minerals. And that is one of the projects that we support. We, the Kingdom of Belgium, we are one of the, financially speaking, one of the big supporters of the Carter Center. President Jimmy Carter went to Belgium on the 4th of October. That is exactly 3 days after his birthday, to Brussels. And he received from the Prime Minister Yves Leterme from Belgium the highest decoration one can receive in acknowledgement and as thanks for the endeavor of the Carter Center in that particular part of Africa.